Hey Mike, so this is what I was making today. These are called Ukrainian overtone flutes. So basically, I just took a piece of PVC, right, just like that, and then I cut this piece out, and then I made like a fipple, it's called. So basically, I thinned out the end right there, if you can see that, like I thinned that piece, almost like a clarinet reed. Just kind of ground it down so that the air has to split. And then when it splits, it creates harmonics. Right? So then I took a little piece of dowel and put it in here. Come on, you. Like that. And then I cut the end of this off. And then that just snaps on here. And then we should get something. So these are crazy because you don't have to have any slide, you don't have to have any holes or anything like that. All you have to do is the pressure, and then by opening it up this way, you're creating different sets of harmonics. So I'll show you this really quick too. So this is basically the harmonic scale. Isn't that cool? So that's what this is doing. It's creating a harmonic scale. And then the cool thing is you kind of get into the kids like the science of keys and the science of pitch, and the shorter they cut these, the higher the key we go into. And then what we'll do is we'll take those PVC joiners and we'll make these longer, and then the kids can see that the pitch drops when you make it longer, and the keys go up when you make them shorter. Isn't that cool? All right, smell you later. Now we got to talk about measurements for making this. The reason the measurements are important is because we want to try to get these all in the same key, right? Because we want to play together. And if we're in different keys, it's going to sound like cats being strangled. But we want to get together and kind of work together. So just kind of remember the science of this. The shorter sound is vibration, right? Music is just vibrations. That's all it is. And then the shorter you make something, okay, the faster the vibrations, the higher the sound. So that's like a ukulele, right? The shorter you make the string, the faster the vibrations, the higher the sound. The lower you make, or the longer you make the string, the slower the vibrations, the lower the sound. So this is a string getting longer. So right now it's here to here. Now it's here to here. Here to here, right? So we want to kind of make sure that we're all in the same starting area. So we're going to make these 18 inches, 18 inches long. Okay. So then after you make this 18 inches long, now I'm going to help you cut these too. Or actually, I'm going to let you cut them, but I'm going to give you a suggestion. I would start with a bucket like this to cut them, because it has a notch here and a notch here. So if you have a notch in your bucket, you can take your PVC and just lay it in the notches. And then you can, I'll move this down. You can put some weight and some pressure down here as your cut. Try to keep this stable, okay? So if it has notches in it, I would use that to cut your PVC. If you're not sure, or you're not comfortable cutting, come and see me because I love cutting. So we're going to cut our PVC at 18 inches. And then the next thing you want to do is we want to make this chamber right there. Do you see that chamber? And that chamber from top to bottom is 1 1/4 inch. So if you don't know what 1 1/4 inches, this is a great time to figure out what 1 1/4 is. So I'm going to take my tape measure here, and I'm measuring 1 1/4 inches. And I want to make it about that wide, kind of like something like that. Right? So that's 1 1/4 inches from there to there. So then you can take a single blade, or you can take a saw, and basically you're just going to cut from here to here, and then on the other side from there to there, right? Cut here to here, cut here to here, and then cut a little line across there. And then you pull it out like a wiggly tooth. Top to bottom, there to there. Okay? That's 1 1/4. Now when you get that done, you have to make the fipple. And the fipple is what makes the sound split. So when you make the sound split, you're going to get harmonics. So what I'm going to do on the fipple is I'm going to take a file and I'm just going to start grinding down just to make a thin edge. Can you see that fipple right there? I don't know if that's... You can kind of see how I'm trying to make it thin because I want the air to split there. And I have different files you can play around with. I've got round files that I like, so kind of play around with that. I forgot to mention one thing. One thing that's important is sandpaper. Like anytime you make a cut, sand everything. And the reason that you have to sand, and you don't need a lot, like I got a little tiny piece right here, but you need to sand all the edges, you need to sand the ends and stuff like that. So why do you need to sand? Because you don't want air to work, okay? So you don't want air to have to work to go around things or over things. You want to make a real smooth path for the air to flow. So the smoother the path, the less resistance, and then the easier it is to make a sound, okay? So right now I cut this at 18 inches. I made this 1 1/4 inches. Okay. I sanded everything down. I made my fipple. Now the next thing I need to do is cut a piece of dowel. Dowel is just like that wooden rod. And I want that to be 3/4 inch. So if you don't know what 3/4 inch is on a ruler, this is a great opportunity to figure that out. So this is 3/4 inch. Now I have a little thing to help you cut dowels. Because dowels are hard because they're going to be all over the place. So all you have to do is take a dowel and look at this bucket with the holes in it and just shove it in there like that. And then this will keep it nice and still so it's not wiggling all over the place. Again, 3/4 inch. Now when you take that little piece of dowel and you put it, where's my flute? Yeah. When you put it in your flute, it's not going to fit. It's going to be a little bit too small. It's going to slide. So what I did is I made a little duct tape jacket. And just put enough duct tape so it fits snug in here. Now what I did on mine is I got my duct tape jacket, but the part that's going to be in here, I cut out. Because I wanted to make it really easy for the air to flow. And I thought, well, if I put the jacket on, now look at how it's not going to be really smooth. There's all those bumps, so the air can go in a lot of different ways. I thought, well, the part that's in the middle here, I'll just cut that out and make it smooth. Okay? If you need help with that, let me know. The tool I used for that was this. Okay? This box cutter, and I just cleared out a little space here and just peeled that back. Okay. So next, the dowel with the jacket on it goes inside, should fit snug. I slide it right down. Boom, Okay, this is again 3/4 of an inch. This is 3/4 of an inch too. Okay, so I cut this off of another piece of PVC, and I sanded it down, sanded the tops, the edges, the insides, and the outsides, and that should be the same 3/4 of an inch as the dowel. And then you just put it on the end here, or you can drop it on the floor. And then I just put it here, and then I press it down, and it should snap. Oh, I forgot this. When I cut it, I had to cut a little section out of it, or else I can't fit it over the top. So I cut this off. Then I got this tool, and I just went like this, and I put it through here, and I just went cut and cut, and then I cut that out. If you need help with this, let me know. Okay. Then I took the cap and I placed it on here, and I pressed it down with a snap. Good. Slide it up and see if we have a sound. All right, if you don't have a sound, then you have to become a detective and start figuring out, okay, why can't I make a sound? Does it have to do with the length of the chamber? Does it have to do with the fipple? Does it have to do with the cap? Where's the cap placed? Does it need to go up? Does it need to go back? Does it have to do with the dowel? Does it have to do with, I didn't sand enough? Okay, so there's a lot of variables. Have fun. If you need help with anything, I can help you out, and go learn something. All right.